cold. Frosty, and I'm so bossy, and I'm so saucy, and my clothes cost me life for the party.
Hey everybody, this is Queen Tajay back with another video, and in this video I will be showing how I pick up a bead in the liquid to powder ratio. So today I will be using my favorite brush, my number 12, and the other one you all see from time to time is the number 6, which I don't use a lot unless they have really small nail beds or I'm doing a fill-in. So right here I call this burping the brush. That's what we learned in school. Oh, can't even see it. This is what we learned in school. Before you decide to do anything, you burp your brush and get all the bubbles out, and then you wipe it, make sure nothing is in it, and you just put it on your towel and clean it. So the first bead I want to pick up is a big bead. I want it to be very big, so I saturated my whole brush, and I'm just gonna lightly do that to where it's nothing dropping down, but it's still very wet. 1, 2, 3, and there goes my big bead. I let it sit for a minute, and then I place it on my nail. And when I place it, I take all the liquid out my brush and hold the nail downward. And as it's going down, I just kind of help it. Now, the bigger the bead, the wetter it should be. And that was my thing when learning, and I'm still learning, but you know, this is just something I decided to do because I'm getting pretty good at it. But I just learned that the wetter the bead, the bigger it'll be. So when you dry your brush off, you have to work very fast because this acrylic can get away from you. And you do it like so. And if you got to clean up under the nail, you can, but it's not really anything under here. Just a little bit. But if you're a nail tech, you will know that a lot of this comes off when filing because it's on the side wall. And if not, then you can just take your drill bit and clean up underneath. I want my edge to be a little pointy. That's why I keep going back and forth. So the next bead would be a medium bead. Again, I just burp my brush to make sure there's not a lot of air in it. So burp your brush, and then for the medium size, you're gonna clean off half your brush. So I'm literally stopping, boom, stopping, boom. I'm not wiping the whole thing off, and I wipe pretty hard so I can get most of that out. 1, 2, 3. That is a medium size. It's smaller than the other bead I had. And again, I'm working with the number 12, so my medium size ball may be a large to you, but it's small to me. I mean medium to me because my first bead was bigger. So again, and for the second bead, you don't have to do a lot of pulling down. Once you blend it a little bit, you may just pat and swipe. Again, keep the sides, keep the shape. And sorry if you hear rain in back of me. I wanted this to be an authentic video, so I know y'all can hear everything in the background, but that's what I want you all to hear. I want y'all to know that I'm not editing a lot. And if I make a mistake, you will see it because, again, I'm not the greatest at doing this. I am licensed, but I'm still learning. You know, I've been licensed for actually a year. But yeah, see that? And the goal is to be to make the acrylic as smooth as possible, so when you do file, you don't have to file a lot. So the next bead will be a small bead, and that's just to get the cuticle area, which is this area on the nail. And excuse my nails because they're a mess, but this area is what I'm about to do. So And you don't always have to saturate your brush, but I would recommend it just in case there's some product in there. You can kind of get it out a little bit. So yeah. And I did swatches before this video, so if you see glitter and it's kind of cloudy, which means it's dirty, it's because I just did a video before this. But I don't know if it came out right, so we will see. So anyways, the small bead, I would just do 75% of the brush. See, I'm stopping literally right here to where it turns brown. That's how I know when I want to stop. All brushes aren't like that though, but most are. Literally 75% of the brush only has liquid. 1, 2, 3. Small one. And it's better to get less acrylic than too much. And I sat it on there. Once you sit it, you walk it, walk it, walk it, or pat, 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 should we say. Pat, 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 or walk, 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 whatever. And then I pat with the belly of my brush, not the edge, but the belly, because I realized once I do the edge of my brush, then I get product in my brush, which I'm still trying to control, because when I'm in the middle of doing a free set, a set on a client or myself, I'm patting and patting and patting and wondering why my brush has a lot of product, but it's really my fault because I'm not paying attention to the belly of my brush. This is the belly, the middle. You pat with the middle. If you do the side, of course, you just saw me scoot everything to the cuticle area, which is this area. Then make sure when you're done, you clean it. If it's something in there, get it out right away. But it wasn't this time. But sometimes it is. I'm going to just be honest. And there you have it. I just laid my acrylic almost to perfect. Now I have a dip there. Again, I'm going to blend it. But say if it was like really, really deep to where it was like, whoop, kind of like a U. And I know I could not file it without making the free edge of my nail too thin. I would go in with a very small bead and fill that up. And I would reverse blend it. Get a little bit. And matter of fact, I'm going to direct you to my area, and I'm going to clean the back of this bead, which is by patting it. And then I am going to put that bead right here. Like I said, this wasn't needed for this nail, but I'm just showing you what you can do. You can literally fill that dip in and then blend it. Now, to me, this is a little thick, so, well, if you've been watching me in my earlier videos, you know, depending on the shape, I do like my nails thick, but this is stiletto. So sometimes, well, not sometimes, but a lot of the times, if not all the time, if it's too thick on the free edge, it will look more round, and you will have to file it anyway. But I just want to show y'all, now you cannot see that dip that was in the nail. And it was pretty small, so you may have not been able to see it in the first place, to be honest. Now, I use these for my my swatches. Sometimes if I'm doing like press-on nails, I use the same one over and over again because it hasn't been in contact with anybody's nails. And then I always keep a clean one to the side for me, and I always keep them in the plastic so I know which one is mine. Or either I'll put them on two opposite sides of my desk. So anyways, I'm going to let this one dry just for a minute. Yeah, because it's still soft. If you don't hear a clicking sound, like, it ain't done. And I flooded my cuticle with top coat. That's top coat. So make sure you always angle it down. And this hand came out pretty cool, but I used a different brand than what I normally use, which is C-Tones, and it just crystallized. So this is why y'all didn't see a tutorial, because I still haven't contacted the girl to ask her what was that about. See, the top is cool. So I'm gonna let this sit for a minute and then I'll be right back. So I've already applied top coat, but I decided to apply my Young Nails top coat instead of my good C-Tones top coat. So it's a little sticky, so ignore that. But let's see. Now we are going to try to do it with my Young Nails Artistic Sculpture brush. And I believe this is the number 6, if I'm not mistaken. But you can see the difference and size between the two. So, and I'm going to be ordering me a C-Tones brush very soon. Every time I have the money, they're sold out because y'all are greedy and y'all only think about yourselves, not other nail techs, you know? But that's okay. I'm gonna cop one eventually. So anyways, right here, I'm just putting a little bit more monomer because I plan on practicing all night and doing another swatch video. So, oh, dang it. I don't know why I just did that. I'm trying to show y'all how to burp your brush, and I keep doing it without the monomer and the thing. Okay, you see those little bubbles? We call that burping the brush. Okay, now I'm going to show you the difference. Of course, because this is a smaller size, the big beads of acrylic are going to be much smaller than they were in the last clip of me doing this nail. So anyways, I'm saturating this brush. There is nothing in it. And this one came pinched, by the way. The other one isn't pinched, so be mindful of that. Okay, and I'm just wiping it very lightly. Instead, because if I don't wipe it, it'll drip. You see that? It's dripping. But I am going to lightly wipe it just a little bit. And on one side, pick up a bead. 1, 2, 3. And this will be my big bead, so to speak. And I'm going to place that. And when I place my bead, and I'm dapping my brush off, by the way. When I place my bead, I make sure I sit my brush in it for a couple seconds and then remove it. Now, the reason why I don't use this brush a lot is because I'm very uncomfortable with it. It's so small, I kind of don't know what to do. If that makes sense, it's literally only for fill-ins for me. This is the only reason why I use this brush. And again, we pat with the middle of our brush, the belly. And I'm just going down. And I'm going to try to keep the indentations in the acrylic so you can see the size of the beads. But because this is a smaller brush, again, the bead sizes will be smaller than they were on the last swatch that I did, because I had a bigger brush. So now I'm going to try to pick up a medium-sized brush. Again, I'm going to wipe off half this brush, literally 50% of the brush, and then lift it. Turn it around. 1, 2, 3. I guess this is considered medium. Look at the difference. Yeah, this is dead. This is only for smaller nails or shorter nails, I see. But then again, you know what? Now that I'm talking, this came with, I think I got the beginner kit. They was having a sale on Young Nails about a year ago. Actually 2, because I think I was still in school. No, about a year, because I've been licensed a year. Excuse me. I got the ultimate kit or the beginner kit. I don't know. One of them. But so I'm going to try to pick up a smaller bead. This is the big bead. This is the small bead. Let's see how the the medium bead. Let's see how the small bead look. And I'm, again, wiping off 75% of the brush. So I'm stopping at the dark part of the brush, and then I'm lifting. And I'm just turning it around. 1, 2, 3. And this is the small bead. And I'm going to place that right there. And I am going to walk it. Again, this small brush just ain't it. So let me try to get a big one again. Let's see if I could pick up a big one like the one I did. Yeah, so that's better. See, I'm trying to work with, and when I place my beads, I don't know if y'all realized it, but I bounce the bead before just letting it go. Oh yeah, see, I like this. Yeah, I like that bead better. Maybe I don't. Let's try. I don't know. But that looks really good. So that was a bigger one. Let's try another medium. And I'm going to go half. And this one, I'm leaving this brush a little bit more wet because, again, the wetter the acrylic, the bigger the bead. That's 1. 2, because this is a small brush, it's just not doing it for me. So let's see if we can get a bigger medium size. But we're still going to do my technique, which is wiping, off half the brush to get a medium size. So I'm drenching it for a minute, and then I'm going to take out half of it and then lift. Turn it around so I can pick it up. 1, 2, 3. It's a little bit bigger. This is considered my medium bead. So push down and then bounce it a little bit. Make sure it's off. That way no acrylic is on your brush. That's really why I bounce it. And to kind of keep control of it, just in case it's a little too wet for me, I can kind of prepare myself to not chase it, but control it better. Oh yeah, see, I like that. Look how smooth that side is though. I'm getting to it. Getting to it. Okay. Okay, now we're going to do a small bead for this cuticle area. And since I came up a little more, the apex may be thicker than I would like, but again, that's what filing is for. The consistency between the liquid to powder ratio is literally to get you to control your beads better and to get the nail as smooth as possible, so when you do file, you don't have to file too much. So again, for my small bead, I always stop at the darker bristles, which is why I like brushes with darker bristles at the end. And these are Kolinsky, I believe, both brushes. It just helps me know where to stop, because I did used to have trouble with liquid to powder ratio as well. So I will be stopping right here for my small bead, just in case you can't see that well. Boom, and lift, then turn. Pat, 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 small bead. And this may be just enough. We will see. Now for the small one, you walk it over to the side, pat, pat, pat. As you get to that cuticle area, you blend, then we go to this side. See, nothing is on this side, so we pat, 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 pat. And then we blend that. Now, because this is sheer, even though it's acrylic on it, I feel like that should be more, what's the word, opaque. So I'm just going to take another one. But it's better to have less acrylic on your brush than too much. And this is going to be very small as well. And I'm just going to put it right here. And again, it's covered, but it's too sheer for me. I don't know. It irritates me a little bit, honestly. But you don't necessarily have to do it, because with sheer colors, that's what you expect. But it's too much. Just like right here. It's acrylic there, but I'm not liking how it looks. So again, I am going to dip my brush just a little bit, stop it at the darker part of the bristles, lift it, turn it. Then I am going to pat, pat, pat. And if you was doing a client or something, you would want to smoothen out this acrylic so that you can get even beads of acrylic. Even though I am right now, eventually, if I continuously dipping in the same holes, I will not get a consistent bead. So that's why you'll see people. And I just want to show you, this was the big, the medium, small, small, small. That's it. But always smoothing it out. And then when this one dry, I will top coat it, and then I will show y'all how it looks. With this one, I found this one off camera. Well, it was on camera, but you really couldn't see every step. But I ended up stopping because these are press-ons and it was getting on my nerves. So I ended up stopping, brushing off the excess dust, and then just top coating it. But for this one, I'm not gonna foul it. I want y'all to see exactly how it look, which is good. Of course, if this was a client or, you know, you were sending press-ons, you would kind of buff it and or file it just a little bit to keep the shape. But again, you won't have to do a lot of filing for the shape because you did that when you were laying the acrylic. When we laid the acrylic, we made sure we pat the sides and guided the bead downward. If you don't do that, then it will be all misshaped, which we've seen in my later videos, or my earlier videos, excuse me, when I was first starting out, fresh out of school. I could not keep the shape of my nail because I was not guiding the side of my bead. I would just let it run over and get underneath. And when that acrylic get underneath, believe it or not, y'all, ladies and gentlemen, kings and queens, it messes up the shape of your nail when you don't do that. And that is why if you go down my Instagram page or even my YouTube page, you will see misshaped nails. It's because I didn't know what I was doing. I was halfway taught, but that's another story time. Get me to 500 subscribers and I will let y'all know the whole story of school. But anyways, now I'm going to switch back to my bigger brush and we're going to do this all over again. But this time I am going to try to do the 2 bead method. Again, I'm just going to wet my brush. And is it clean? Because this is, again, this monomer is dirty because I color swatched before this. So that can also make acrylic be stuck in my brush. But it's not. But I thought it was. So keep in mind, if you have that problem, it's because you was still working with dirty monomer, which I'm aware of. So I know to clean as soon as I'm done showing this video. And I could really do it during the video. Just get some clean monomer and soak it. But it's fine. I promise y'all. I'm not gonna lie. So, let's see if I can do a 2 bead method. Ooh. What is this? Oh, that's weave. I thought that was, well, is that part of my brush? I think it was. Anyways, let me stop dipping. So, I want to do 2 big beads. And I've never done this before, so we will see how this goes. I am saturating my brush and then I am going to lightly wipe it off. You're not gonna see me do this because look, all that liquid just went back in there. You don't want all your liquid to run out of your big bead, so I lightly buff it. And then 1, 2, 3. Big bead. And again, it's wetter than our average bead. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to bounce it to guide it down. And to get little to no product in our brush. And I just wiped off my brush. Because when you don't wipe off your brush, you're putting more liquid into it. And I'm trying my best to make sure that I have control of the bead and the bead don't have control of me. So, and I still have a little liquid in my brush. It's just not as much as I did when I first laid the bead onto my nail. Boom. Here we go. Y'all can't tell me nothing. Y'all really can't. Y'all cannot tell me nothing. Remember when I was just 100% trash, y'all? Like, come on. Get with it. And if I want to, I could brush this up because I don't like how thick that free edge is. Again, this is stiletto. I don't like my stiletto nails too thick. I mean, I actually prefer thicker nails, I'm going to be honest. But with stiletto, it depends on my length. Some people, oh, I like mine thinner, which it is cuter thinner. However, I work a lot with my hands, so I prefer thick nails. I've worked in warehouses. I still work in a warehouse and all that good stuff. So, you know, let's be real here. But that was a big bead. See that indentation? Big bead. So I'm going to try that again. For this nail, I'm going to make sure everything is smooth because I want a big bead again. Again, I'm soaking my brush just a little bit and I'm lightly wiping the monomer off, turning it so I can pick up the bead. 1, 2, 3. That is a big bead. And I am going to try to I'm trying, y'all. I'm trying. Keep that nail down. I realized that I was making it flat. That is not what you want to do. And we are going to just keep going, keep going, keep going. And blend it, and blend it, and blend it. What is that? That wall tack? Ain't that what it's called? It's really irritating me. I mean, I just laid this acrylic and you can barely tell because that blue is just, ugh. I really just laid a 2 bead nail, but that blue is like messing it up. Getting on my nerves now. Getting on my nerves. But yeah, I just did that. I did that. Queen did that. Okay. So for the next one, we are going to try, let's see. Matter of fact, let's do an ombre nail, y'all. Let's see if I can, let's see. Let's see if I can, I'll do your nails. Again, I don't want to use all my C-tones. Okay, we gonna start with a big one, a smaller, a big bead, a medium bead, a smaller bead. Let's see if I can do it. So the big bead, I think should be, hold on, wait. It should be this pink. So lightly brush that off. 1, 2, 3. That is a big bead. And I am going to bounce it down. And once I bounce it down, I will pat it. And I wiped off my brush. I'm sorry, y'all. I should have told y'all when I did it. It's still wet. You can tell it's wet too. Actually, I'm gonna wipe it off again because it's starting to be a little too wet for me. And if you have to take some off, some of that product, can you see with it? Just wipe it off on your paper towel. Boom, I got a little bit more. See that? Wipe it off. And everything else is just making sure the shape stays. So that was a big one. And you can see the indentation. Let's try for a medium one. And if it starts to get hard for you to form a bead, it's because your brush is getting dirty and your monomer is dirty. Don't forget that. I'm going to keep saying that. But so far, this dirty monomer is working. So right here is a medium bead. Again, wipe off 50%. So that's half of your brush. And then lift it, turn it around so you can pick up a bead. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. This is not a good bead. You can tell my monomer is dirty. It's not helping. Let's try to continue with it though. Let's try again. At first you don't succeed, get up and try again. Okay, so this is half the brush clean. I'm gonna roll it over. 1, 2, 3. This is a medium-sized bead. And I am going to pull it down like so. Wipe off my brush. And again, my paper towel is dirty too, so wow, I'm surprised that this is kind of working. It's starting not to, so after this one, I may just hang this video up and come back with a different one of how to pick up a bead. See that? It laid pretty smooth. And now I want a small bead of this young nail, so I'm going to stop at that dark part because that tells me that it's 25%. I'm at the 25% mark. So drain out 50% of your brush and then, no, 75%, sorry. And the rest is what you need. somebody is home, so let me hurry up because I know they're gonna start talking. 1, 2, 3. Very small. And if you want, you can I'm gonna pick up 2 of these because I want to even it out. Yeah, I'm wiping off my brush, getting some of that liquid out. Pat, pat, pat to the sides, and then brushing it down. And I'm gonna do the same thing. Let me hurry up before they come in. Stop at the darker part of your brush. Pick up a small bead. 1, 2, 3. And if you don't want to sit it down and then keep the liquid out, you can literally drain it on the back like so. And then place it on your nail, and it's dry enough to work with. Pat, 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 and blend it, and blend it. Just like that. Bless you. See?